Jurassic Park is a video game adaptation of the 1993 blockbuster film and was released a couple of months after the movie arrived at the big screen. Produced by Blue Sky Software, it took a year and a half in production due to the new graphic technology it used. Jurassic Park the film was a huge deal at the time of release. Steven Spielberg directed the hugely entertaining film based on Michael Crichton's novel. In parts, the book was quite different to what we actually saw on the big screen. The video game version includes some of these sections that were in the novel but were not seen in the movie version. There were actually 5 video games based on the Jurassic Park license at the time of the megadrive release. Like other games of its time, a Super Nintendo version was released that was completely different in style, which was produced by Ocean. It even featured indoor 3D sections. The game used new technology which allowed the dinosaurs to be captured using stop motion technology. Characters were also acted out and digitised into the game for the human characters. Jurassic Park is an action platformer. As standard with most platform games, you need to traverse a level and find the exit. You actually have 2 different playable characters. The game is set to default as Dr. Alan Grant, the main protagonist of the movie, although by entering the options menu you can choose to play as a Velociraptor, which is a lot more fun. Playing as Dr. Grant, you will need to play across 7 levels and escape from the visitor centre. Playing as the Raptor is a much more enjoyable experience. There are, however, only 5 levels to play through. Allegedly, the game uses an AI system called ADI, Artificial Dinosaur Intelligence, which meant each time the player played the game, the enemies reacted different. Whilst this is true to some extent, you would never really notice this taking place. Grant does not control easily. He is quite awkward to move around and you cannot always judge where you're going to fall after jumping. Despite using new graphics technology, the game doesn't look anything special. It also features a lot of slowdown, which is something you would not expect to see on a Sega console. This can really distract you when playing. The river level is one of the more unique levels in the game. Here you need to navigate down the river whilst collecting fuel tanks. This scene never actually made it into the movie, however it was in the novel. The ride at Universal Studios is actually based off this section of the book. This level was omitted when playing as the Raptor. I'd imagine it would be quite unbelievable for a Raptor to be steering a boat. Like many games in its time, it doesn't feature a battery backup save feature. However, you can use the password system to jump straight back to levels. Thankfully, the passwords are quite short and easy to remember. Playing as the Raptor is a much more satisfying experience. You can run faster and jump higher than Alan Grant, but being a dinosaur, you do have limited attacks. You will need to avoid JP security along the way. The Raptor does not have any collectibles apart from finding meat and the ability to eat the small dinosaurs for extra health too. There are a couple of levels that do not appear in either the movie or novel. It's a shame that they deviated so far from the source material, it starts to feel like the developers started to run out of ideas. The music in general has an eerie mood to it, although it can be a mixed bag at times. It certainly is nothing special and is quite generic in tone. I can't say Grant's campaign is all that fun. It's just too fiddly to control and the levels are badly designed and feel a chore to play through. For a big fan of the film to come to this game, I would expect to walk away disappointed. The final level inside of the Visitor Centre is one of the better stages in the game, which is a shame as it had potential. The T-Rex shows up in quite a few levels. Grenades usually keep him at bay. Like a few of the other levels, it's not completely clear on how a task should be completed. This is the final area of Grant's game. You need to get down in between the raptors and throw grenades at the rocks to bring down the skeletons. Get too close to the raptors though and it's game over. Grant's campaign, whilst longer than the Raptors, is still quite short. It shouldn't take you too long to see all of his 7 levels, although unless you are a die-hard Jurassic Park fan, I wouldn't recommend spending your time with the game. On the other hand, whilst the Raptor level is even shorter, it is quite fun. It's a shame his campaign couldn't have been as long as Grant's, as it's all over a bit too soon. Again, there is no easy way of figuring this section out. Attacking the rock seems to do the job, but I'd have hoped for something a bit different for an end of game section. The ending is disappointing overall for both characters. The game does bring some enjoyment for Jurassic Park fans, but apart from the Raptor mode, I couldn't really recommend it. For a game in such a long development time, I'd have expected a lot more from the finished version. There are definitely better Jurassic Park games out there if you are looking for one to play. Alternatively, grab yourself the DVD and a bag of popcorn and re-watch this classic again. If you like this video and want to see more, please comment and subscribe. Thanks.